I think the innovators of today are the new rock stars. They are the one that people want to hang with. They are the people that the younger generation look up to.
Hi, Emmanuel Seuge.
How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm blessed. I'm so glad to have you here.
I try to challenge the status quo and bring innovation in how we look at problems and how do we answer business challenges. We need to adapt ourselves to the way consumers are consuming content, if I can use that term. The world in which we live in is a world where 70 million people use Netflix as their content provider, right? Where there's no advertising. So for any brand, it's a challenge. How do you talk to people who only use Netflix as a content provider? The world in which we live in is a world where 3 billion videos are consumed every day on Snapchat, right? And those videos disappear 24 hours later.
Yes.
Right? And Snapchat has now become more than a social platform. It's close to a cable company because you can watch CNN on Snapchat. You can watch ESPN on Snapchat. So that's the world we live in,
Right.
And Snapchat is a company that didn't exist 3 years ago.
That's amazing.
Right? So if we want to continue to be relevant in people's life, we need to think about the way we tell our stories and the way we engage with people as dynamically as possible.
Have you ever had any failures?
Yeah, I've had a lot of failures.
Give an example of a failure and how you may have overcome it.
I would say I misled a person that I hired in my team a couple of years back, who was the person who was leading our music effort. And he came from the music industry, and he looked like a guy who came from the music industry coming inside a big corporation like Coke. And at the time, I hired him exactly for that reason, because I wanted him to bring in our team inside the organization his knowledge, his network, his understanding of music. Well, the mistake I made at the time is that the moment he entered the building, instead of nourishing his difference and protecting him as he was, I tried to make him enter the box of what a traditional person from Coke is. And obviously, that was a big mistake because that's not the promise I gave him when I hired him. And that's not what he was looking for. And very quickly, he was unhappy. So he left the company. And it's something that, it took place 10 years ago that I remind myself, and I actually think about almost every single day. Because our team is a very diverse team, and you got people that come from different worlds. You got people who've been at Coke for a long time. You have people who just joined the organization. You have millennials and younger generation. And you have people who come from the entertainment industry, the tech industry, and that's the magic. And that's what you want. You want your team to be diverse. You want to have in your team people that think differently than you. It's that experience, that mistake that I made 10 years ago has been following me since then, and has been a reminder of what not to do when you want to foster and encourage diversity in your team.
So what would you do now differently?
I try to manage every individual differently and make sure that we are respectful of the reason why we hired them for, and not wanting them to look like who we are, but trying to be themselves and bring the value that they're going to bring to the organization in the right way.
Talk to us about the person, Emmanuel.
I've been at Coke 18 years. I've been very lucky to join Coke right out of college in Paris.
What do you care about?
I care about people. I think a lot of the great work that an organization, a team can do is often achieved when you have great people.